Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our daily get together live here on Facebook every morning, where we examine headlines about things that matter here in Puerto Vallarta, in Mexico, in our state, in our city, in our culture, in our daily lives as a community of English speaking locals. It is a pleasure to welcome you every single day, and today is April 22nd. It is Thursday, so we have all kinds of interesting news to share with you. But before we do that, as always, I want to remind you that if this is the first time you're joining us, you can let us know that you're new by writing the word new in your comment. We'll give you a proper welcome. And of course, if there is something important that you wish to discuss or bring up during the broadcast, it helps a lot if you add the letter Q at the beginning of your comment or question. So, before we get into the news, onto the news, into the news, onto the news. I think it's onto, but I'm sure you'll let me know. Let us take a quick look at who is in the house. Congratulations, Brett, who's getting his vaccine today. That is absolutely wonderful. Raymond, I read your comment and I thought to myself, I've never put Bailey's on iced coffee, and I wonder what that turns out to be like. So that may be my thirsty Thursday experiment today. Juan Ignacio asks, how is the weather? The weather is still wonderful early in the morning and in the evening. There's a lot of breeze moving. There's a lot of wind moving through the city. If you go out and about during the middle of the day, you can feel the sun. You can definitely feel the sun, and when the humidity starts to increase, you can feel that as well. I'm being mindful of the sun, and if I'm going to go out, hold on just a second. Wait, I just needed to scoot myself up a little bit. If you're going to be going out, you want to wear a hat. You want to be mindful of that. But the weather is absolutely wonderful. Let's see. My sister's here from Mexico City, hermanita. Mwah, te quiero mucho. Always a pleasure to see you. Let's see. Summerland's in the house. Hello, Lisa. Always nice to see your smiling face. And yes, today is Earth Day. I already checked the weather, and I saw the beautiful snarky comment that our weatherman left for us, but I'll share it with you in a second. Thank you very much for that, Scott. I didn't know about this advisory. The electricity will be shut down in Cinco de Diciembre, apparently. So hopefully it won't be an extended cut, and hopefully it is that they're just doing some quick repairs. Okay, I'll take that as a yes. I'm going to try that, and I love it. Amaretto and hot chocolate are my favorite. Excellent. Well, let us get started with the news, because we have all kinds of interesting things, from improvements in the city to vaccine stuff to teachers and the drought. Oh my God, the drought. But I have some great news in a little while if you are a music lover. Let's get started. But first, let me let you know that SEAPAL has announced temporary street closings starting today in order to upgrade their services. The closings will take place along the northbound lateral of Francisco Medina Asensio, right at the El Salado Estuary Bridge, and also in Colonia Emiliano Zapata at the intersection of Basilio Vadillo and Constitucion. Please be mindful of this if you are driving around the city, particularly at Basilio Vadillo, because there's always a lot of traffic in that intersection. I'm sure that the authorities have diverted traffic to other streets, but streets are narrow in Colonia Emiliano Zapata, so do expect a little bit of delays if you're driving out and about. Speaking of delay, the vaccination of doctors working in the public and private sector was scheduled to take place today. However, the National Defense Secretary requested postponing the date without providing a new one. And our governor, he loves that kind of stuff. He responded by asking all medical personnel to check the state's official social media pages for the publishing of a new date in the future. Talk about a party pooping situation. You're all excited that you're finally going to get your vaccine, and overnight, the powers that be, or the higher powers, simply say, oh no, we're going to delay this, and we're not telling you when. Well, it is what it is. What can I tell you? But on the other hand, it is good to know, hopefully they won't delay this, but over 5,000 teachers here in Puerto Vallarta will be vaccinated between April 28 and May 4, according to Roberto Palomera Preciado. He is the director of the Regional Office of Educational Services. At this stage, oh, and by the way, this is for teachers in the private and the public sector, regardless of their age. We still don't know where these vaccines will be distributed or the specific logistics of their application. We do know, however, that contrary to the National Education Secretary's intention to resume classes before the summer vacation period, the state of Jalisco has announced that classes in the state will not be resumed until the 2021/22 school cycle, which begins in the month of August. I also want to talk to you about the drought that Mexico is currently experiencing. A Facebook post by the National Hurricane Warning Center shows that the current nationwide drought is no laughing matter. According to their numbers, 72% of our country is now experiencing drought at one level or another. If this tendency continues, the state of Colima, directly under Jalisco, which would be, okay, here is Jalisco, and here's the state of Colima. The state of Colima, directly under Jalisco, can reach up to 97% of drought, while Jalisco and Nayarit can reach 67.8 and 61.7% respectively. So we've been talking about water shortage for the last couple of days. Please be mindful of your use of water, at least until it starts to rain. Let me take a quick look at your comments just to see what we are thinking about. Tio Mateo is newish, third day watching. Welcome, Tio Mateo. It's great to see you here. I hope you have your favorite beverage in hand, and I hope you enjoy the broadcasts. Let's see. Margaret Barrett is new. Did I miss Margaret Barrett? Well, if I miss your comment, Margaret, you are welcome to join us. I think I missed that comment. Anyhow, let's see what else we have here. We all need water for our health. Absolutely. Okay, let me continue now with the weather so that we can continue with the rest of the broadcast. Well, as I mentioned before, our snarky carrot weatherman tells us that you probably had no idea today is Earth Day because you're too busy polluting the planet. I certainly hope that's not the case. The weather forecast for today, actually before the weather forecast for today it's 26 degrees, feels like 27. It's 79 degrees Fahrenheit, and humidity is really low at 37%. I don't know why I'm schwitzing, but I'm schwitzing. It must be because I'm drinking cold coffee. The weather forecast for today is we're going to have a partly cloudy day with a high temperature of 31, low temperature 19. Tomorrow, Friday, partly cloudy through the day, high temperature of 31, low temperature 19. And on Saturday, we are going to have a partly cloudy day with a high temperature of 32 and a low temperature of 19. 32 degrees is here to stay. I wonder when we reach 33. Let's see. Recommendation: transport PV airport to Nuevo Vallarta. Take a cab. I mean, that's what people do. I don't think there's, I mean, if you want to get complicated and hop on a bus, that could be complicated, but you can take a cab. Let's see what else we have. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Michelle recommends important Netflix watch Mission Blue. This would be for Earth Day. Thank you very much. Christy loves the snarky weatherman. I do most of the time. Sometimes his references have to do with things happening in the United States, so I don't understand them. But more often than not, I can get them. And if not, you guys are kind enough to fill in the blanks for this little crazy head of mine. Let me tell you that we're moving on with our other headlines. And I have some great news, or at least this is great news for me. We are one step closer to enjoying the Jalisco Philharmonic performances in person. Yes, this makes me personally very happy. The orchestra has announced 3 concerts to take place outdoors in Guadalajara at the patio of the Cabañas Museum during the month of May, specifically on Thursday 6th, 13th, and 20th of May at 8:30 p.m. in the evening. The outdoor space will feature 180 seats, for which concert goers will be able to acquire tickets online or at the museum. The program for the 3 concerts is available on this web page, which will be included in the show notes as always. If I may, I would like to remind you that the permanent home for the orchestra is the Teatro de Gollado in Guadalajara City. Of course, in-person concerts are not happening indoors as yet, at least not the ones for the orchestra. And we are very much looking forward to being able to enjoy these concerts again by traveling to Guadalajara overnight, or just for the day. You can do either or. If you're a real fan of the orchestra, what I usually used to do sometimes when I used to go by myself is to take the overnight bus on Saturday night and then arrive in Guadalajara early in the morning and wander around the city like a zombie until a place to have a cup of coffee would open. And then I would watch the concert, the matinee, the Sunday matinee at 12 at noon. And then in the afternoon, I would just come back to Puerto Vallarta by bus, exhausted, but definitely gratified. A better way to do this is, of course, by staying there overnight, but we're not quite ready yet, and they're not quite ready yet, so we don't need to worry about this just yet. But let's just assume for a second that you are ready to take a bus. Where would you like to travel by bus today? Well, an article published by Contralinea showcases Puerto Vallarta's bus connectivity with the rest of the country. Every month, I don't know if you know this, but every month, there are over 2,800 buses departing from Puerto Vallarta to many important cities in the country, and primarily to Guadalajara, Mexico City, and Monterrey, and many other cities in the center of the country, including León, Aguascalientes, Zacatecas, Guanajuato, and so forth. If you are new to riding a bus in Mexico, you will be pleasantly surprised to learn that buses in Mexico are extremely comfortable. In fact, the luxury lines have 3 seats per row, not 4. One half of the row has 1 seat, and then you have the center aisle, and then you have 2 seats. And oftentimes when I'm traveling by myself, I will choose, obviously, the seat by itself so that I don't bother anybody and nobody bothers me. And it is a surprisingly and unexpectedly wonderful to travel around the country if you're not in a hurry. Needless to say, if you're rushing to get from one city to the next, you would probably want to take a plane. But if you want to go to places like Mazatlan, you can take an overnight bus. If you want to go to Guadalajara, you can take an overnight bus as well. Mexico City. These are all direct buses you can take. And if you don't want to take a direct bus, you can take a bus to Guadalajara, and from there you have all kinds of connections to other beautiful, wonderful places. So as your level of comfort and trust of the environment begins to broaden, this is a great way to get to see and get to know Mexico. I miss traveling by bus. I find it personally very, very relaxing because there's food offered, and there's beverages, and there's a Kindle that you bring, and they play movies with bad Spanish dubbing, but who cares? Let me take a quick look at your comments about some of these items, um, and we can continue on with the last little itty bitty that I have for you. Um, oh no, did we get confused with you, Margaret, again? I know that you live in New Westminster, and and yes, we've gone down this road before, right? I remember that. So, Margaret, you're not new. You are from New Westminster, and I'm just so happy that you're here. There you go. Ba-dee-ba-ba-ba-ba. Thank you very much for that, Brett. You and I are on the same page. I bring a travel blanket as well. I always bring, I always travel in shorts if I can, unless I'm arriving in Mexico City or a big city. Men don't wear shorts in away from the coast. It's really funny. Of course, I don't give a shit because I am in my 50s. I can do whatever I want. Whenever I go to Guadalajara, if it's warm, I'm walking around in my shorts, even though I look like a tourist. Unless it's at night. Obviously, if you go out at night, you wear your long pants. But when I travel on the bus, I wear shoes that I can easily take on and off. I bring my blankie, and it's really wonderful. Can you bring a small dog with you? A small dog. I love it. I actually don't know, Sheila. You can probably bring a dog in the luggage compartment, but I don't know what the policy is for bringing a pet on board the buses. You can probably find that out directly with the bus lines. Um, Karen looks forward to taking the bus. I hear you. I hear you. I miss going places. Um, it's a great way to do it. Uh, Angelica also gives also vouches for the bus trips to Guadalajara. They're absolutely wonderful. And James is correct. The first class business are like flying in business. I think you mean the first class buses are like flying in business class. Yes, absolutely. I've been on the ETN buses. The seats are wider than plane seats, and they're very, very comfortable. Let's see what else. I went to Guadalajara April 12th by Primera Plus, and everything was great. Well, if you thought that was great, the ETN buses are even more comfortable and luxurious than Primera Plus. Just so that you know, you can definitely keep that in mind. Lynn asks, where is DIF in Puerto Vallarta? I went to the office near Hidalgo Park, but it was only for children. That's a really good question. I don't know where it is, Lynn, but I would imagine that if you go on to Facebook, there you go. Jaime Mendez has kindly offered an answer and he says that it's near the Libramiento, the new DIF. Again, if you go onto Facebook or if you go onto the DIF website, I'm sure you can find the answer to your question. Let's see what else. Dave says, I've heard you can't bring dogs. Bummer, because I'd like to take the bus instead of driving. Again, because I'm not a dog owner, I really don't know what the answer to that one is. And I think this is what we have. Thank you very much, Candace. Tap bus line. No pets on the bus to Mazatlan. About half full. Back 99% full. Very good drivers. That's right. Candace was just in Mazatlan with her posse. I hope you had a good time, and I thank you very much for that feedback about the buses. I am itching to take the bus to Mazatlan. I understand there's going to be a new aquarium that is going to be inaugurated this year. So that is probably going to be my excuse to head north once I get vaccinated. I have one other uh, headline that I want to share with you that has absolutely nothing to do with anything, but it is highly pornographic, at least for those of us that enjoy spending time in the kitchen. Um, Huffington Post published this thing called 28 Kitchen Tools and Gadgets That People Actually Swear By. Now, of course, I'm happy here in Mexico. It's been a long time since I struggled with withdrawal from the United States, and I used to miss having access to every gadget in the world. But when I saw this early this morning, I started to salivate because some of these things I didn't even know existed. Like a tofu press. Who even knew there is such a thing as a tofu press? Um, and then there's a microplane. I don't even know what that is or what I would use it for. A roll up drying rack. Now, that looks sexy. I would definitely want to have one of those just out of convenience. Made with metal grates covered in soft silicone to prevent scratches and won't take up storage space, says the article. I would like that. An olive oil herb infuser, good to know. A collapsible popcorn popper, I don't think so. A compact air fryer as opposed to a non compact air fryer. I suppose I could use one of those. I don't think I need it, but it is interesting to see. Well, anyhow, this article just goes on an adjustable rolling pin. Come on. Anyhow, if you are a kitchen gadget, I was going to say whore. Oh, God, I said whore. If you're a kitchen gadget whore, this article might be for you. Of course, it is in English. Let me take a quick look at some of your final comments before we head on to our merry day. I've never seen a bus line in Mexico that allows dogs in the bus, only under. Well, apparently now we know. Brett says that October is the projected time for the new aquarium to open in Mazatlan. Thank you very much for being our eyes and ears in Mazatlan, Brett. We very much appreciate it. Raymond, dot, dot, dot. Another one rides the bus. Thank you, Raymond, for being yourself. Microplane is a micrograder. Good to know. Huffington Post is full of delicious news items you can trust. I like Huffington Post quite a bit, and that's why we reference them from time to time. I'm glad you like it as well. Michal vouches the air fryer, and Candace wants a tofu press. There you go. So there you have it. I'm not alone here. Maybe I will take a look at some of these things and take advantage of my friends who come down from the United States and order them. Or even better, I can order directly on Amazon myself. And this is pretty much what we have for today. I wonder what your weekend plans are for this beautiful sunny weekend that we can look forward to here in Puerto Vallarta. I am looking forward to doing. See, there's my sister. That's good. See, this is what I need. A lot of junk. Good knives are more than enough. Thank you very much, sister, to remind us that sometimes it's good to have the gadgets, and sometimes too many gadgets is too much. And I admire my sister. My sister and I come from hoarding families, and our late parents used to have so many chingaderas. It's not even funny. And I remember the last time I went to visit my sister in Mexico City, she has shrunk down to a tiny, gorgeous, very beautifully curated apartment where she only lives with the basic essentials. And I remember I came back from that trip thinking to myself, oh my God, I have so much shit to purge. And I don't mean that literally. So I don't know. I look at gadgets very carefully because I don't want to have so many things anymore. Um, Anyhow, this is what we have for today. Today, I am looking forward to a restful, well, not restful, but I'm going to be working from home all day long. I'm going to be doing some social media that I have to get caught up on, and I hope you will have a wonderful weekend. And I hope you will come back tomorrow, or whenever you feel like coming back. And between now and then, stay kind, stay happy, stay connected. Don't spend too much money on gadgets. Stay safe, and most importantly, stay in touch. Have an awesome day.